I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Monday, March 30th. Today, kicking kids off social media.
These are risks. This isn't a sure thing.
Why some parents support a ban on accounts for youth. Also today, a new era.
It's been an exciting first 24 hours.
How the newly elected federal NDP leader is shaking things up. Plus, keeping it cool. Why law enforcement officers took the plunge into some frigid waters. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It's a hot topic of conversation among parents. Should children be allowed to use social media? According to a new Angus Reid Institute poll, most Canadians say no for those under the age of 16. Standing by live with the details is CTV's John Hendricks. So, John, are we talking about a ban, similar to what we've seen done in Australia?
That's exactly the point, Marilee. Angus Reid says 75% out of the over 4,000 Canadian adults they surveyed support a full ban. And those surveyed with children seem to have a similar viewpoint, with 70% supporting the ban. Now, the leading issues of concern include misinformation, cyberbullying, explicit content, negative mental health impacts, and addiction. And 3 in 5 Canadians say they believe teens are not capable of using social media responsibly. But some experts say there's not a one-size-fits-all prescription for social media usage.
It really depends on the child and on the family. So some of the risks that we see from early online use and from, just a lot of online use are potential for increased exposure to cyberbullying, sleep disruption from late night use, social comparison to others and body image concerns, and algorithm-driven exposure to harmful or extreme content. These are risks. This isn't a sure thing.
Winnipeg parent Dave Lynn DeLand has a similar opinion, and he wonders whether older children should be fully banned from social media when they're able to do things like drive a car.
The 15 to 16 is really tricky. Younger, I would definitely agree to say between 12 or up to 14. Right? But if the government allows you to go and get a beginners at the age of 15 and a half, then I think it's okay.
Meantime, the study says parents with kids aged 10 to 15 are more likely than not governing their kids' social media use already.
So, John, what realistically can be done on a legislative level to curb the age of users in this country?
Well, Marilee, as we talked about earlier, Australia recently became the first country in the world to impose a full ban on social media for people under the age of 16. So that's certainly a possibility. A similar ban is being discussed by the federal Liberal Party at the National Convention next month. Now, another solution is to ban kids only from certain apps. And those who suggested that in the study listed TikTok, X, and Snapchat at the top of the ban list. CTV's Joseph Bernacki spoke to another parent who says she's already removed her child from one of those apps. And we'll show you how her daughter is doing coming up at 6.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, John. Hate crimes in our province dropped last year, according to a new report from Statistics Canada. The data shows 79 hate crimes were reported in Manitoba in 2024. That's down from 112 a year earlier and represents a drop from 7.8 to 5.3 per 100,000 people. 44 of those in 2024 were reported in Winnipeg, which is down from a 5-year high of 49 in 2023. Well, the numbers are an improvement in our province. Stats Can says the number of police-reported hate crimes in Canada continued to rise for a 6th straight year, more than doubling since 2018. Newly elected federal NDP leader Avi Lewis is sharing his plan for the party's future following its leadership convention here in Winnipeg over the weekend.
It's been an exciting first 24 hours.
During that time, Lewis met with the federal NDP caucus, put together his transition team, and had an hour-long conversation with Manitoba Premier Rob Canoe at the legislature. Well, Lewis says he and Canoe agree on many things like prioritizing health care and affordability. There is one area they do not.
There's a question of energy. of energy development. And it may be that if the port in the north, whether it's Churchill or somewhere else, ends up being the destination for more oil and gas exports, that's something that we in the federal NDP do not think serves Canadians.
Instead, he'd like to see Canada stop shipping energy elsewhere and transition to renewable energy. Lewis doesn't currently hold a seat in Parliament and has no plans to immediately seek election. Lewis says he'll focus on meeting with Canadians until the federal caucus feels it needs his support in Ottawa. Winnipeg police continue to investigate a fatal crash between a vehicle and a pedestrian over the weekend. Police were sent to the intersection of Dufferin Avenue and Main Street just before 3 Saturday afternoon for a crash involving a pedestrian and a semi-truck. The pedestrian, a 50-year-old woman, was taken to hospital in critical condition and later died from her injuries. The driver of the semi-truck remained on scene and cooperated with the investigation. Anyone with information, dash cam, security, or cell phone video of around the time of the crash is asked to contact the traffic unit or Crime Stoppers. More than 130 law enforcement officers took the plunge this weekend, all in support of Special Olympics.
How was the water? It was amazing. Breathtaking.
That's one way to put it. Officers from the Winnipeg Police, RCMP, along with members of the Armed Forces, some Blue Bomber members, and even members of the general public all participated Saturday in the Polar Plunge at Princess Auto Stadium. It was all in support of Special Olympics Manitoba sport programs. And while it was cold out there, President of the Winnipeg Police Association, Corey Weil, says it was worth it.
It does remind you why we're here. We're here to make sure that those funds are allocated towards some of the most needing individuals, that are most worthy individuals that are training for sport. And it's great. It reminds you of why you did all this.
Special Olympics Manitoba says the event sports more than 2,000 athletes with intellectual disabilities across 7 regions in our province in 17 different sports. Let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. They should be glad they took those plunges a couple days earlier, because much colder out there today.
It was, and I'll tell you what, it's always funny to watch them jump in full uniform too. Good for them, all for a good cause, of course. Talking to people today, Marilee, as for the snow that's falling in Winnipeg, and as you can clearly see all across southern Manitoba and east into northwestern Ontario, people have had it for the most part, but I hate to tell you, there's more on the way tonight, and there could be more on the way later this week. That's right. I'll share those details with you coming up, and of course looking ahead to the Easter long weekend. But for now, let's try to look through that CTV Live Eye. It is brought to you, of course, by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. With the snow falling over the city, it's -4 degrees. With the wind chill, it feels like -10, courtesy of those winds coming from the north-northeast at 24 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 87%. And on this Monday, out on the roads, the snow is falling, so do drive to conditions out there. That's a live look at Portage Avenue, east and westbound, just west of Polo Park. Traffic does appear to be moving well there.
We just couldn't believe it that we had done it. We had proved ourselves.
A spirited event, how a Manitoba cheerleading squad took center stage at the biggest cheer competition in the world. Those details after the break. U.S. crude oil settled above $100 a barrel for the first time since 2022 as the ongoing conflict in Iran enters its 5th week. BNN Bloomberg's Lindsay Biscaya has more.
The price of oil continues to climb as, on the flip side, uncertainty drags down the markets. West Texas Intermediate futures rose more than 3% today, the highest since July 2022, and Brent trading even higher. The latest rise in prices comes as Donald Trump is once again threatening attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure. Traders are warning an even bigger energy increase could be on the rise if the conflict does not end soon. And here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to $71.80. West Texas Intermediate is up over $104 a barrel. Western Canadian Select is up to $81.36. And the TSX dropped more than 25 points to finish the day. Those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
As measles cases continue to rise in Manitoba, the province is turning to pharmacists for assistance. Starting tomorrow, pharmacists will be able to give the measles vaccine. According to public health data, there have been 392 cases in Manitoba this year. That's the highest rate in the country and 183 cases more than the second highest province, which is Alberta. Pharmacists Manitoba offered to administer the measles vaccine as part of Manitoba's publicly funded immunization program last week. They'll be able to immunize people between the ages of 2 and 19 years old. The group says 90% of the cases in the province are among those who are not immunized.
It's really in the government's hands. They need to provide access to the vaccines, allow pharmacies to order them. Once pharmacies have access to the vaccines and we can administer the vaccines, there's really little time required on the sides of pharmacies and pharmacists to provide this vaccine.
Health Minister Yusoma Asagara expects to sign an order allowing this to happen Tuesday. The vaccine will be provided to Manitobans free of charge. The cost of a passport is increasing for the first time in more than a decade. Starting tomorrow, the price of a 10-year passport is going up $3.50 to $163.50. The cost of a 5-year passport is rising by $2.50 to $122.50. This is the first time prices have increased since 2013. Starting April 1st, the federal government is also promising passport applications will be processed within 30 business days or there's no charge. Winnipeg Jet star Jonathan Taves traded in the face-off dot for the pitching mound over the weekend. Taves tossed the ceremonial first pitch at the Chicago Cubs game Sunday. Taves, of course, led the Chicago Blackhawks to 3 Stanley Cups during his tenure in the Windy City. Many of his Jets teammates took in the ball game at Wrigley Field on their day off. They're back in action tomorrow night against the Blackhawks. Well, it's a dream come true. A Manitoba cheer team secured a gold medal at the biggest cheerleading competition in the world.
We just couldn't believe it that we had done it. We had proved ourselves the first team in Manitoba to have won first place at NCA. And I think it was just such an exciting moment.
That's Jessie Kads-Vidi, one of the 23 under-16 athletes in Central Cheer Icons. The team went down to Houston, Texas about a week and a half ago to attend the Nationals Cheerleading Association's All-Star National Championship, competing in Level 2 Small Division. The team's All-Star director and coach, Lexa Moorhouse, says a stunt issue and the difference in grading scheme between Canada and the U.S. threw them off a little bit on day 1, putting them in 5th place, but they adjusted their plan on day 2, and boy, did it pay off as they became champs.
To my athletes, you have severely put in so much effort. You are way better than I could ever be. And I feel like that's something Coach Joe and I jokingly said is, you know, we always want to train the next generation to be better than the last, and you have accomplished that.
More than 1,600 teams from across the world competed for the championship title. A cloud of smoke. A legendary rock band is making its way to Winnipeg. We have those details for you after the break.
Spotlight sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Tim Hicks, the Going Somewhere Tour.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and a legendary band is bringing some rock and roll flair to Winnipeg.
That's right. There's no smoke and mirrors about it, Marilee. Deep Purple will be hitting up Canada Life Centre this summer. Known for songs like Smoke on the Water, Highway Star, and Child in Time, the band has sold more than 100 million albums. They'll be taking the stage on August 29th and bringing along a special guest, Kansas. Tickets go on sale at Live Nation on April 2nd.
All right, now to the Junos, where a pair of local performers took home some hardware this weekend.
They sure did. Winnipeg singer-songwriter Alexa Dirks, better known by her stage name Begonia, took home Best Adult Alternative Album of the Year for her latest album, Fantasy Life. This was her first Juno Award win after being nominated twice previously, and she actually tied with indie folk singer Bahamas for his album, My Second Last Album. And the Winnipeg Jazz Orchestra also took home its first award-winning Jazz Album of the Year group for East Meets West Connections.
This is a big week for astronauts. Artemis 2 is getting ready to launch.
Yes, and with students in spring break right now, the Royal Aviation Museum of Western Canada is training mini astronauts. As part of this program, the Spring Break Mini Astronaut Training Camp is offering numerous activities. Kids can drive a mini moon rover, simulating the drive of rough terrain on the moon. Students can also sift through a sandbox to find rocks from outer space. The museum is also offering basic astronaut training topics such as gravity, weight, and communication. A museum spokesperson says the activities are intended to inspire our young generation.
That's one of the things we focus on here at the museum, is that real-world science blended with fun, but giving kids those experiences to get introduced to aviation and aerospace.
The activities are included in the museum's admission. No registration is required, and the training week ends on Friday.
A number of major film props have now sold for a pretty penny.
Yeah, a C-3PO light-up head from Star Wars merrily has fetched more than $1 million at auction.
Wow.
Yeah, it was part of a film and TV memorabilia auction last week. The harpoon gun used by Robert Shaw's character in Jaws was also up for grabs and went for more than $400,000 Canadian. And the famous volleyball used by Tom Hanks in the film Castaway has become one of the most expensive volleyballs, selling for more than, get this, $200,000.
Yikes. Not playing a game with that one.
Nope, that's Wilson for you.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Your Monday primetime lineup kicks off with Extracted at 7, Memory of a Killer follows at 8, and The Rookie is on at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
CTV Primetime Lineup, brought to you by the Parkway Retirement Community. Welcome home.
Yeah, still snowing out there, folks. A live look at the Norwood Bridge. Traffic is moving smoothly, though, in both directions, but do make sure you drive to conditions. -4 degrees outside. Feels a little cooler when you factor in those winds. I will show you how long this snow will last and when we might see the next round coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon. CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, as for the snow, I think folks are starting to reach their maximum tolerance for any more snow. Of course, we need the precipitation, but we are closing in on the end of March after all. Easter is just around the corner, but we have this snow that's passing through. Now, we've had one Alberta clipper after the next pass through over the last couple of months. This system formed a little further south along the Rocky Mountain chain. This is a Colorado low, dumping all this snow on us today, and it will move also into northwestern Ontario. As you can see, it already has. Environment Canada has issued a special weather statement for parts of southern Manitoba, not including Winnipeg, but right up to Winnipeg's doorstep, but the rest of the Red River Valley to the south of the city, and then east into northwestern Ontario. So the highest snowfall amounts likely in the southwest part of the province, 10 to 15 centimeters is possible, maybe more in higher elevation in the Parkland region, but then into northwestern Ontario when that snow really starts to intensify tonight, similar amounts are also possible as well, perhaps maybe a little less closer to the Minnesota border, but yeah, snow's not done with us just yet. Speaking of northwestern Ontario, it's -1 in Kenora here in Winnipeg, -3 degrees in Brandon, -5. Dauphin, that has seen so much snow, -4 there right now. And for the most part, mild single-digit temperatures in the north, -6 in Thompson, but up in Churchill, it is -20 degrees. But it is clear in the Churchill area and along the coastline there. You can see really where that cloud deck really just cuts the province in two. Cloudy through the Interlake with some snow falling, but really it's through the southwest into Winnipeg, the Red River Valley, into the southeast corner and into Ontario, where that snow will continue to fall tonight. You see that freezing rain. It looks like that will stay well south of the international border in the overnight hours. So we'll start to see that snow end first in the southwest by tomorrow morning. Here in the southeast and into northwestern Ontario, it will continue at least in the morning in Winnipeg's case, and it will start to push off further east into Ontario as we get into the the latter part of Tuesday afternoon. Then we clear out, as you can see, overnight into Wednesday. We go for the most part, maybe a little blip here and there in the north of a few flurries or some light snow. A little bit of cloud starts to build up too on Wednesday late in the day. For tonight, we drop down to -5 Monday night for Winnipeg with the possibility of 2 to 4 more centimeters of snow on top of what's already fallen. Winds out of the northeast at 30 kilometers an hour. Winds will shift and come out of the northwest tomorrow. They will also start to gust too. Likely to see, as I mentioned, some snow showers in the morning. -2 is the high in the afternoon. If we're lucky, we might catch a little bit of sunshine, but it should really skew more on the cloudy side, as it will on Wednesday. +2. And then we get into Thursday. There's a possibility of flurries during the day. It's looking more likely now, like that next round of snow I was talking about could come through on Thursday night. Cloudy by Friday, Good Friday, 2 degrees, mix of sun and cloud Saturday, 3 degrees, 4 on Sunday, Easter Sunday, under a mix of sun and cloud. Our first weather photo takes us up to beautiful Cross Lake, Manitoba. That photo is from Garnet, out doing some snowmobiling there. And this photo's lovely too. This is out in western Manitoba along Highway 23. That photo was taken by Roy. Email us yours to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. An indoor adventure park opening soon in Winnipeg is aiming to break a Guinness World Record. Apex Adventure Park at 1150 Narron Avenue features a custom-built 192-foot trampoline. It was made by its sister company based in Regina and is attempting to get the title of the longest trampoline in the world. Managing partner of the company, Luke Shaheen, says while making trampolines is what it does, this one was different.
There was a lot of trial and error and a lot of expertise from our team in Regina. We make trampolines every single day, but this one, we actually took several tries to get it. We found issues with the material stretching and all kinds of stuff that we'd never encountered before. But when you're making a trampoline 190 feet long, it's just the tolerance for error is very, very tight.
The current record holder is a 170-foot-long fast track in Russia. The indoor park is slated to open on April 9th with length verification and formal education for the Guinness World Record happening on the same day. Colleen, I bet you could do some fancy gymnastics.
I know I can. I'd love to take a run on.
Get her down.
Bring me down. I'd love to try it out.
All right, that does it for us this hour. We're back at 6 with more local news. Hope to see you then.